guys, what's up? How's it going? My name is Samantha, and I am the Boho Witch here on YouTube and Artsy Mouse over on Instagram. If this is your first time here, welcome to my channel. You're definitely in the right place to make some magical crafts, watch witchy unboxings, and learn aspects of the craft itself. So sit back, relax, subscribe, and stay a while. Also, hit that bell so you never miss out on another video. In today's video, I'm going to be shedding some light on pendulums. We are going to go over what they are, how to use them, the many different types, and then for the finale, I'm going to show you guys how to make your very own Spirit Pendulum. Alright, so first things first, what is a pendulum? A pendulum is a type of divination tool. A tool used to gain insight from a higher being or intelligence. The pendulum acts as a receiver and transmitter of information, kind of like a radio picks up microwaves and then transfers it into music, and have been used as far back as 2200 BC. There are many different types of pendulums and almost endless possibilities with them, but for the most part, they consist of a top bead to hold onto, a chain or string to dangle, and then a charm or crystal on the end. The end charm has a lot to do with the energies and messages you will receive from it. Different crystals bring their own energies and seem to be the most common type of charm, but there are other materials like brass, which is known to be protective yet highly communicative. Also, don't be afraid to make your own pendulums at home. If you are a green witch, you might want to fasten one from an acorn or a seed that you have a connection to. Or if you wish to communicate with a past loved one, consider using an old necklace of theirs or a belonging tied onto some string. Like I said earlier, there are almost unlimited possibilities when it comes to pendulums. Alrighty, now let's get down to business and talk about using your pendulum. So if this is a new pendulum or a new space, start by cleansing the area and your tools. You want to remove any old, stagnant, or unwanted energy before starting. There are a few different ways to hold your pendulum. Some say hold it an inch from the pendulum itself. Some say hold onto the top bead, which is what I do, but just find what is comfortable for you and what speaks to you. One thing that is unanimous is to place your elbow down on a surface to stabilize your arm and the pendulum itself. This is to make sure that the movements are from spirit and not from your wobbly arm. Next, I like to ask for divine guidance and support, but this step is optional. You can say something as simple as, I open myself up to divine guidance and divine messages that only seek to help my highest good. I am protected from all others that wish to harm, so mote it be. And then imagine a white light forming around your pendulum. Before you get into asking the universe or your higher self for guidance, you need to connect to your pendulum and establish its movements. Ask a question you know to be true, like, is my name so-and-so, and observe which way it moves. This is your yes direction. Or simply ask it, show me yes. Ask again for no and maybe, and then you are all set to ask the real questions. Simple yes and no questions can be answered anywhere with just you and your pendulum. But when you get into asking more complex questions that require a whole word answer, I recommend using a pendulum board. Boards, cloths, or cards can come in many different shapes and sizes with a whole array of symbols on them. You can get all fancy and go and buy one, or simply use a pen and paper and make one yourself. To program a board to a pendulum, simply hover your pendulum over each symbol and say the symbol out loud. Alright, now that we've gone over ways to use your pendulum, we're going to go over some ways to misuse your pendulum. Overusing your pendulum and asking the same question over and over, trying to get a different answer or outcome. Just trust your first reading and go with that. Make sure that you are grounded and in the right state of mind. I never recommend divination when you are in high levels of emotions. Take a beat, calm down, and come back to it. And most importantly, don't use your pendulum as a replacement for medical advice or expertise. Sweetness, so we have all of our bases covered. Now let's get crafty witches and make ourselves a spirit pendulum. So a spirit pendulum is essentially a pendulum inside of a jar. The pendulum is sealed and free from any interference that may distort its movements. So to say the least, if this pendulum moves inside the jar, you know it's a spirit's. Or maybe it's an earthquake. First things first, we are going to cleanse and clear our jar and pendulum. Then we are going to be adding in some crystals and herbs to lend their energies to our divination. When you add in your items, make sure to charge them with your intent. We can throw them in without and hope that they do their best, or we can program them and ask them to lend specific energies to our spell and intent. First, I added in salt and charged it to protect and cleanse away any negative energies or harm. Then I added in some mugwort and charged it for its psychic insight and communication energies. After that, I added in rose petals and charged them with the intent to receive messages with love and out of love, and to show my thanks for the messages that I had received. I then charged and added a celestite crystal to build a sturdy bridge of communication and lend energy to any spirit struggling to reach me that wishes me good. I also added in an amethyst crystal to lend energies of astral communication and travel. And lastly, I decided to add in an extra quartz crystal to amplify the energies of all of the other ingredients that are already inside of the jar. I also decided to charge my pendulum as well. Like I mentioned before, brass is protective yet highly communicative. I charged and programmed it to let in messages from those who wish only the highest good for me and my future, and reflect back any negative energy or harm to the sender. So now that everything is charged, we are going to connect the pendulum to the jar. So grab some needle nose pliers or jewelry pliers and open the jump ring on the end so we can slip out our chain and place it through the lid. Now I was able to punch a hole through my lid with a hammer and nail. If you do this at home, just try to be safe. I don't want anyone losing a finger. Then reattach the chain to the end bead by looping the chain through the jump ring and then closing it back up with your needle nose pliers. It should look something like this when you're done with it, and then simply screw on your lid to your jar and you are done. Now you can go a step further and seal the lid on with candle wax or hot glue if you wish. Store it on your altar or anywhere you like. Just try to keep it out of direct sunlight because that will turn your herbs brown, and nobody likes brown herbs. Alrighty guys, well that is all I have for you today. I had so much fun with this project and I hope you did as well. Comment down below if this video helped you in any way, and definitely let me know if you made your own spirit pendulum jar at home. I love and appreciate you guys so much, and thank you for all your continued support. Like, subscribe, and share with your friends, and all that good stuff. And as always, remember to be kind to each other, do what you will, but harm none. Alright, bye guys. See you on Sunday.